We're here with Lindsay Wimkin from Toledo Children's Hospital, Promedia, Toledo Children's Hospital, excuse me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming out in the dark here. Yeah. We're here in the parking lot.
Bright and early.
Yeah, we're here because new stats came out just yesterday, released from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, as well as a University of Michigan division, saying that 21 out of 98 cars tested did not have, only 21 of 98 rather, passed muster when it came to the latch system for child car seats. As a dad, that worried me. We called you right up. So,
yes.
So tell me, what's going on here, and how do we make sure that our seats are installed safely?
Well, first of all, LATCH stands for Lower Anchors and Tether for Children. It's a new system that was developed several years ago to make installing car seats easier for parents and caregivers. But what we're seeing is a lot of misuse with the latch system, primarily it being that a lot of caregivers aren't doing the first important detail, and that's reading the instructions of their manual and the instructions of their vehicle manual.
Okay, so and what would it tell us here? I mean, what do we need to do, if you can walk us through what this looks like?
I can show you just basically what some basic latch looks like. This is a latch system that's designed on a lot of car seats. There are various different types that I can show you too. But this basically hooks into lower anchors that are in the bite of the seat. And it's primarily used to just tighten up the tether. Very similar to tighten the tether and the lower anchors. Okay. Very similar to tightening up a seat belt, but just to make an easier way of installing it. Gotcha. So I can show you one on this side.
Please.
One thing that you want to always look for in the back of the seat is an indicator that shows you where latch is located at. On this one, there is a little button here, or a little icon that shows you where the lower anchors are located at. You always want to make sure that that your hook is always facing down.
I always have trouble with that. I mean, that's what mine looks like there.
Yes.
I don't have the that first one you showed us looked pretty fancy.
This is the basic latch system here, and so you always want to make sure that your hook is always facing down.
Okay.
Once you locate that indicator, you're going to hook that on to the lower bracket.
It sounds like you didn't have a lot of trouble accessing that latch, but in certain cars that I've driven, cars that we have, or cars that we've rented, or setting it up in grandparents' vehicles, it depends on the vehicle. Sometimes it is really hard to get that cushion out of the way and access the anchor, and that's one of the things that came up in the report and faulted the manufacturers for that.
Correct.
And what do? We just tough it out? Or what?
Well, it's going back to reading the manual of the car seat and the manual of the vehicle, because there's a lot of different compatibility issues with car seats and vehicles, because there are hundreds of vehicles and a lot of different car seats out there. So it's really important to make sure that you're reading up on those manuals so you know exactly where to locate the latch system.
Okay.
There are some vehicles out there that could probably make some improvements, but as long as you're reading through the manuals, it's really easy to install latch in a lot of vehicles.
Okay, and one thing that a lot of folks forget is that the top anchor, right?
Yes.
Can we walk through that?
Yes, that is definitely this top anchor here, or this is also called the tether anchor. A lot of people aren't using the tether anchor because, one, they're not aware of it, and that's why it's really important too to make sure that you're reading the manual so that you're aware that you do have a tether anchor and where it's located in your vehicle.
Okay. Is there one we have to wrap here? Is there one last important thing that we need to get out here to parents?
To definitely read through your manual. That is the number one thing to do, is to read through the manual. Another thing that they can do is always make an appointment with a certified technician. We have certified technicians at Toledo Children's Hospital, and there are other technicians located in the area. So if they would just call our office, we can definitely make an appointment to make sure that they're using their car seats properly.
All right, Lindsay, thank you so much for being here this morning. I may have you check out my car seats to make sure they're properly installed before you go. All right.